Today we are going to learn about zoology for undergraduate students. Subject is genetics. Objectives include definition of genetics, knowing about heredity and variation, concept of genotype, phenotype and phenocopy. Genetics is a branch which deals with heredity and variation. Heredity is nothing but the similarities between the offsprings and the parents. Variation refers to the changes among the organisms. Gregor Mendel is called as the father of genetics. He is an Austrian monk who published his research in 1866, but his great work was identified in 1900 after his death. He is rightly called as the father of genetics. Some terminology we need to understand. Heredity. It is a passage of characters or traits from one generation to another generation. Gene. A segment of the DNA molecule located on the chromosome that codes for the synthesis of a single polypeptide. Allele. An alternative form of a gene that occurs on the same locus on homologous chromosomes. Here afterwards I will be referring to ABO blood group system, which is simplified by concentrating on only three alleles, IA, IB and I. Though it is little more complicated having more alleles, now we have reduced it to only three alleles. IA, IB and I are the alleles in relation to human ABO blood group. I think all of us are familiar related to this ABO blood group, wherein the humans are divided into four different blood groups, and they may have blood group A or blood group B or blood group AB or blood group O. And to simplify the things, I have designated it as due to presence of three alleles. Okay, and when we learn about multiple alleles, we know it is little bit more complicated. Then chromosomes, rod-shaped structures within the cell nucleus that carry genes encoded by the DNA. Homologous chromosomes, a matched pair of chromosomes, one from each parent. Homologous chromosomes are identical chromosomes which are present in the nucleus of the cell, and out of this pair they are identical in shape, structure, number of genes, the position of the genes, and the one will come from the male parent and other one will come from the female parent. Autosome, a non-sex chromosome synonymous with somatic chromosomes. In man has 23 pairs of chromosomes or 46 chromosomes, and pair number 1 to 22 are autosomal pairs. Then sex chromosomes, these are the chromosomes which are involved in the determination of sex. In humans, chromosomes X and Y are the sex chromosomes. Female has XX chromosomes and male has XY chromosome. Heterozygous condition. That is, it's a situation in which the alleles are different. In ABO blood group, in a person having AB blood group, the two alleles present are different, IA and IB. And in a heterozygous tall pea plant, the alleles present are different, capital T and small t. And this situation is heterozygous condition. Homozygous condition is a situation in which allelic genes are identical. That is, in a person with A blood group, the alleles present may be IA and IA. In this case, alleles are identical. And in homozygous tall pea plant, capital T and capital T is present. This is a homozygous condition. We will try to understand genotype and phenotype. Geneticist Johansson used the terms genotype and phenotype in 1911. Genotype is the genetic makeup or genetic constitution of an individual, and genotype is relatively stable in an organism. Genotype, capital T and capital T is a genotype in a homozygous tall pea plant, and a genotype of a man with AB blood group is IA and IB. Phenotype, the external appearance of an organism, is referred as phenotype. How an organism looks, whether it is tall or dwarf or fair or dark, that is referred to as phenotype. And phenotype changes with the time. A dwarf plant, in this case, the dwarfness indicates the phenotype. Phenocopy, when two genotypes produce the same phenotype due to different environment, then each one is called the phenocopy of the other. They differ genotypically, but they are similar phenotypically. I think it's a common knowledge that when two different genotypes are present, we obviously expect it to produce two different phenotypes. But because of the role of the environment, because of some factor from the environment, two genotypes produce the same phenotype, and this is known as phenocopy. Let's understand that with an example. In Drosophila, the normal wild fly, the Drosophila is called as the Cinderella of genetics. It is the common fruit fly which we can notice when we keep the fruits in the kitchen, and particularly banana when it is very overripe. We can see some flies flying, that is the fruit fly, which is widely used by the geneticist in carrying out genetic experiments. So it is called as Cinderella of genetics. In Drosophila, the normal wild type, the body color is brown, and there is many mutants, and one of the mutant has an yellow body color. So normal wild type is brown colored, and there is very many variants. One of the mutant has a yellow body color. When a normal wild type larvae is fed with the normal diet, it grows into a normal brown bodied fly. But we'll change the composition of the diet, and when the silver salts are added to the diet which is given, on which the larvae feeds, then such type of larvae, after completing the metamorphosis, will develop into a yellow bodied Drosophila. So this is a condition which appears because of the change in the environment, because of the change in the diet. As the diet had silver salts, instead of the normal brown bodied Drosophila, yellow bodied Drosophila appear, and this is called as the this yellow bodied flies are called as the phenocopy of the yellow mutant Drosophila. Now, these are the MCQs. Session outcomes. This helps the students to understand the basic concept of genetics, phenotype, genotype, and phenocopy. Thank you all.